So AI is everywhere, right? We're all seeing these incredible image generators, these chatbots that feel like you're talking to a real person. But what if I told you that's just the opening act? Today, we're going to peel back the layers of hype and get to the real revolution that's already happening, a huge shift that's set to completely redefine how we work with technology. You see, the whole conversation is about to change. It's moving from just having artificial intelligence to actually putting that intelligence into action. Everything we're seeing right now, that's just the foundation. The real transformation, the one that's going to define the next decade, is so much deeper and more woven into the fabric of how everything gets done. So, let's ask the big question. Is AI really just about asking a question and getting a cool answer, or creating a funny picture from a text prompt? Absolutely not. That is just the very, very tip of the iceberg, and we are about to go explore the massive structure hiding right underneath the surface. Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll get past the hype. Then, we'll dive into the rise of something called AI agents. After that, we'll unpack 3 really important truths you need to know. We'll look at real-world examples of these AI teammates already on the job, and then we'll wrap up with the big choice all of this puts in front of us.
All right, let's get right to the heart of it. This whole shift is about moving from passive models that just respond to us to active agents that actually do things. This is the giant leap from just having intelligence to having integrated action.
Right now, we all know about large language models, or LLMs. A good way to think of them is like a super powerful engine. They're amazing at understanding what we say, generating text, and doing one specific task really well, like, say, summarizing a document or answering a quick question.
Now, agentic AI, that's the next step. If the LLM is the engine, agentic AI is the whole car. It takes that powerful engine and connects it to a whole system, your trusted data, the apps you already use, and, this is key, the people. Its whole purpose isn't just to talk, it's to act and get things done.
So what does that look like in the real world? Well, an LLM handles an isolated task. You ask, what are your store hours? And boom, it gives you the answer. Simple. But an agentic system, it handles the entire process. It doesn't just answer the question, it can book you an appointment, send a confirmation email, update your customer file, and ping the right employee. That's a complete, integrated action from start to finish.
Okay, so how do we really wrap our heads around this new reality? It actually boils down to 3 core truths that explain what makes this agentic enterprise actually work.
These are the 3 pillars, you could say. First, it has to be a unified system. Second, and this is huge, it must be built on a foundation of trust. And third, maybe the most important of all, is that it's all centered on people. Let's start with that first one, a unified system. Look, this is not about just plopping a chatbot on your website and calling it a day. No way. This is about finally breaking down all those data silos we've had for decades. It's about weaving AI into the very fabric of an organization, so it can connect all the different apps and all the human expertise into one seamless flow that actually gets work done. And that leads right into our second truth, trust. I mean, think about it. If you want an AI agent to do something important, like solve a complicated customer problem, it can't just be pulling answers from the random open internet. It has to be grounded in your secure, trusted company data and follow approved steps. That foundation of trust is the only way it can act with the kind of speed and reliability that everyone expects.
So, after we talk about all the systems and the data, we get to the final truth, which, as Mark Benioff says, is the most important one. And that's the role of humans. This technology is not about writing people out of the story, it's about giving them superpowers.
Now, I know this might all sound a bit like science fiction, but it is happening right now. Let's look at some incredible, real-world examples that show just how powerful these AI teammates already are. The proof, as they say, is in the numbers. Let's take a big retailer like Williams-Sonoma. They have an AI agent named Olive, and it now successfully handles about 60% of all customer chats. And it's not just firing off canned responses, it's actually resolving issues. Because every single interaction is grounded in trusted company data. That means faster, better service for everyone. And it's not just for customers. Let's look inside a company. Some businesses are using AI support agents that can resolve 35% of all IT issues all by themselves. We're talking about saving thousands of work hours every single year. That frees up the human IT staff to focus on the really tough problems.
And if you want to see the true potential here, just look at the massive scale of government.
At the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, in one of their most complex departments, an AI agent is automating up to 98% of the activity in certain workflows. 98%. That's a level of efficiency that was just pure fantasy a few years back.
And this really isn't just a tool for huge corporations or governments. Nonprofits are using agents to match volunteers where they're needed most. Social service organizations are using them to help military families cut through all the red tape. In every single case, the goal is exactly the same: automate the complex, tedious stuff to free up human potential for more meaningful work.
So all of this brings us to a really critical moment. This future isn't just going to happen to us. It's being built piece by piece by the choices that we're making right now.
And that brings us to the single most important takeaway. The whole story about AI replacing jobs is just missing the point. This is about partnership. It's about giving people powerful AI teammates that handle the grunt work so that we humans can focus on what we do best: strategy, creativity, and connecting with other people.
So the big question for all of us is, how do we want to build this future? The decisions we're making today about the technical architecture, about the rules and governance, and most of all, about how people and machines work together, those choices will define everything that comes next. We're standing in a profound moment of possibility. So will we be the ones who turn it into real, lasting progress?